Peace and power, y'all. This is your brother Baba Amin, and this is a morning build. You know what I'm saying? I pray everybody's having a blacktastic morning. Uh, let me invite some people in right quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me invite some people in. Let some folks know on Facebook and other platforms that we live this morning. You know what I'm saying? It's happening right now. Tap in. All right. Let's do that. Let's tag a few folks. You know, if I can't tag you, don't be my friend on social media. No, if you got a business and you worrying about tagging people and getting on people's nerves because you tagging them all the time, then that's not who you need to be connecting with. You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure that you're connecting with people who support your mission, people who gonna support your business, people who gonna support what you're doing. Other than that, why you on social media? You know what I'm saying? Why are you on the platform? You know, but I want to shout out to all of the supporters of the Uhuru Academy, all our family and friends. I mean, we met some incredible black people over the years, man. When I tell you we have some tremendous support out there in the black community, I'm not lying, all right? And the Uhuru Academy is currently enrolling for the 2022-2023 school year. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go to uhuruacademy.com and check that out. If you want to support the African-centered education movement, the Uhuru Academy movement in particular, definitely you can hit us up on Cash App at $ Uhuru Academy, or you can go to uhuruacademy.com/donate and even set up a monthly debit to support what we are doing. Everything that you donate to us goes towards lowering tuition for our families, as well as, you know, developing programs and helping us get the word out about African-centered education and helping others build programs in their communities as well. You know what I'm saying? And so we appreciate everyone who's been supporting us over the years, right? All right, then. That's what's up. And I'm going to get into this because I'm here at UASC International this morning about to start class. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. And the babies will be in here in a minute. And so I wanted to jump live right quick and just, you know, give a little talk. Miss Lamb, peace and power to you. Miss Lamb, peace, power, and profit to you, and prosperity to you. You know, hey, y'all, today's topic is, you know, how to be $1 million crash dummy, or better yet, how not to be $1 million crash dummy. You know what I'm saying? And what we mean by a crash dummy, you know, we mean by, you know, you've seen the crash dummy commercials where they put the dummies in the car, they testing the durability of the car, and they intentionally ram the car into the wall, and the crash dummies just crash out. You know what I'm saying? Out the car. They're there to crash. They're there to crash to help bring profit, you know what I'm saying, to that company, you know, because the company can look and see how that crash dummy crash. Okay, then that's how a human body would probably respond. Maybe we need to make it a little stronger. Maybe we need to fix this or adjust that, right? Now, I remember when I was younger, they used to have these commercials with the crash dummies on the commercial, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, and the crash dummies was talking and stuff, and they understood their purpose was just to crash. That was their whole purpose, right? Was just to crash. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we always have to be aware of as Black people in America, because we've been getting crashed out since we've been here, right? Right. When we were enslaved for over 300 years, the whole objective was to work you till you died. Somebody else got rich. The whole objective was to work you until you died. And it wasn't just a physical thing. It wasn't just a thing where they were standing over you with whips and forcing you to work. It was also a spiritual thing where they would tell you that God wanted you to be a slave. So you felt like you were pleasing God by picking cotton all day, by picking tobacco all day, and chopping sugar cane all day. You know what I'm saying? So they made it a spiritual thing. They built it into your education. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be a slave. This is your lot in life, right? And so to the point to where if you were born into slavery, right, and raised under that situation, you know what I'm saying? You took pride in being a productive slave. You took pride in picking the most cotton. You took pride in helping to find somebody when they escaped. You know what I'm saying? But you were being crashed out. You were the crash dummy the whole time. It's just that you bought into the role. You felt like this is what I was created for. So you participated in it willingly. And you enjoy some fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? Those who were able to embrace their enslavement, they enjoyed favor that those who fought against it didn't enjoy. Might got a little extra sugar cane. You might got master's old clothes. Maybe even got a pair of shoes. Maybe you got to drive the buggy, because you understood how to move, how to maneuver in this situation. So you became a good slave, a successful slave. Oh, yeah, there were successful slaves, right? But see, you got to see the parameter for a slave success is different than the parameter of success for people who were free. But as an enslaved person, you didn't really get to experience that. Matter of fact, you was taught against that. White folks would tell you, you don't want my problems. You don't want the problems. You don't want the burden of freedom. You don't want my problems. Oh, be happy that all you have to do is get up every day and pick this cotton and then go back to bed, and you don't got to worry about all these problems with taxes and dealing with the government and all that sort of thing. You don't have to worry about that. You're actually blessed. And so you get into this mind space where not only are you happy to be enslaved, you looking at other enslaved people and you kind of like, yeah, I ain't got it like I got it. I got a pair of shoes. See that N word over there? Look at him. He always talking back to master. He burnt crops. He be running away and stuff. See, he don't get it. He don't get it. He make it bad for everybody. But if y'all just be like me, you can get extra sugar cane. You can get the big shack. If you just be like me, every now and then you can get a day pass. If you just be like me, but you getting crashed out. You a crash dummy because you're about to willingly work till you die so someone else can get rich with no hope of real elevation, no hope of real freedom. See, the crash dummy formula has been here. And part of the reason why it was so important to control the education of Black people is because even after slavery, the South and the North were figuring out how to continue the crash dummy relationship with Black people. How do we continue to, even in their so-called freedom, to miseducate them and put them in a place where we can still exploit their labor, exploit their intelligence, exploit their creativity, pay them crumbs and make them thank us for it? I was looking at a documentary on Netflix last night called The Bad Sport. And it was about these two Black basketball players back in the 90s that were point shaved, and they were deliberately throwing basketball games to make a little extra money. Right now, they was doing it for this white guy. This white guy was dropping $1 million on the game. 500,000 on the first game, 1,000,001 on the next game, 2 million on the other game, right. And these two young kids that was from the hood, that was in college shooting basketball, man, they ain't never had nothing. They in college. Of course, college players can't get paid, so they in college struggling to find something to eat, but at the same time realizing that they generate millions of dollars for the college, right, with their talent. Because through ticket sales, merch sales, sponsorships, college sports programs generate millions of dollars for the college every year, right? And so they getting crashed out, number one, by the college. Because a lot of our children go play Division I NCAA sports, help generate millions of dollars for the college, hurt they knee, and end up losing their scholarships and coming back home and being on the corner. Right? This happens. Right. Well, I'm looking at this documentary, and this white boy is putting down $1 million a game. Right. And he's paying these two brothers $20,000 each every game. They didn't even get a raise. When he went from betting 500,000 to $1 million, they still got 20,000. When he went from $1 million to betting 2 million, they still got $20,000. To them, they hit it big. They had never seen $20,000 before, not realizing they getting crashed out. They getting crashed out. They the crash dummies in the scenario. They ended up getting caught. White boy got 15 months in jail. He came out, he's still rich. Ruined those brothers' careers. They never recovered. Right? That's the crash dummy relationship. When you look at the music business, traditionally, you can go back as far as the 20s, the 30s, back when the white boy was going down into the cotton fields with the this new invention called the record player, and they were recording blues singers like Muddy Waters and stuff singing in the fields. And then they would go and they would press these records up and make all kind of money off these this Negro music and not pay the Negroes anything. Matter of fact, they wanted the Negroes to stay in the situation that they were in because they felt like this music was coming from their heart. We don't give them the burden of actually being paid for it. So when black folks even started getting record deals, starting getting signed, a lot of times they would get paid with Cadillacs. They would get paid with access to a better life, but no real equity, no real money. And those who did get money, they didn't get an education on what to do with it. A lot of them developed drug habits. A lot of times those drug habits were fed to them by the record label to keep them from dotting the I's and crossing the T's. You know how many artists, famous artists that you know were crashed out by the label that owned them, and then the label continued to make money off of their music after they're dead? That's a formula. That's why we say $1 million crash dummies, because a lot of these brothers and sisters get access to wealth while they're alive, but there's nothing there after they're gone for their families. Many of them die broke when they're no longer profitable to the company. Oh, you could be $1 million crash dummy. Don't get fooled by access to wealth. Access to wealth and having wealth are two different things. That's why we tell young people, if you get a scholarship to go play college sports, focus on your education, focus on how you can use this stepping stone to do something for yourself other than thinking you're going to become a professional athlete, because they'll crash you out in a minute. Nick Saban and the University of Alabama will crash you out in a minute. You are literally a crash dummy. Go out there and crash into somebody else while we generate millions of dollars. And when we're done with you, we're throwing you away. But it's on you to do something with that window of opportunity that you have right there. It's on you to be able to create relationships beyond the field or beyond this little window that you're in, right? To take care of yourself and have a fallback plan. But if you're not educated to have a fallback plan, what can you do? Except crash out. Don't be $1 million crash dummy. You look at Young Thug and YSL and the RICO charge that they just caught in Atlanta, right? And y'all, I'm not one to root for black men going to prison. That's not my thing, right? Right. But at the same time, I don't cry when you walk in there. I don't cry when you do things that get you there, right? So don't think that I'm saying this from a standpoint of justifying what anybody is doing. I'm not going to say free nobody, none of that kind of stuff. My prayer is that if you're in there, I pray that you get pro-black. If you're in there, I pray that you get some sense, that you find some spirituality, and maybe when you come out, you can do some good for your community, or even while you're in there, you can do some good for your community from behind the wall. But I'm not saying free this, free that when they running around here being self-destructive in the first place. But I'm looking at that and looking at the RICO charge that Young Thug is receiving, and all those young people that got caught up with him, that's been put into the system and facing trial, right? And I look at that, and I look at the music company, the company that he signed to, the record label, 300 Entertainment. 300 Entertainment, owned by Leo Cohen, and I think Kevin Liles is the token blackface, and then another European, I forget his name, Skorwitz or something like that, right? Well, I'm looking and notice how this case came along with Young Thug and the RICO, charges happening, and then I look and I noticed back in December that those guys sold 300 Entertainment to Warner Brothers for $500 million. Now, Young Thug has generated millions of dollars in his career, right? but he don't have $500 million. So the company that's promoting the organized crime, the company that's in charge of the marketing budget for the organized crime, that, you know what I'm saying, the company that signed them, y'all come on in, come on. You know, the company that put the money in the hands of this so-called criminal organization, they get to sell the business for $500 million. But the young people that are in the organization that's supposed to be gang members, they get to go to the penitentiary. $1 million crash dummies. You made millions of dollars. That company made generated millions of dollars, built their value on your music, built their value promoting music that so-called promoted crimes. And now you as an artist in jail for the crime, but the people who own the company get to sell the company to Warner Brothers for $400 million. You got crashed out. You made $1 million while you did it, but you got crashed out. How we looking? So a lot of times we get fooled. A lot of times, especially when you're poor, you get fooled because you're seeing people with money. They got money going down their arm. They holding money up to their ear, and you think they made it. You think they rich. And they might be money rich, but they ain't wealthy. They ain't protected. Or Young Thug would be at home right now. Kevin Liles from the company came and he testified for Young Thug and was like, you know, we'll pay the $1 million bail and we'll look out for him and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, he had $1 billion. You think they worried about Young Thug or anybody that's locked behind bars? They got. Maybe they saw the RICO coming. That's why they sold the company. Maybe Warner Brothers, when they bought the company, was like, yeah, we'll take the company, but we don't want him. We're going to go and get him off the chessboard. When you're a crash dummy, you don't know what the engineers are doing. The crash dummy is just to sit in the car, in position, put the seatbelt on the crash dummy, then crash the car into the wall to see how the crash dummy reacts. Say, oh, okay, the car ain't strong enough. We need to do it like this or something like that. But the crash dummy has no idea what the engineers are planning. Just like a lot of these rappers, they don't have any idea what the heads up, what the people at the top are planning. They telling them one thing, and you leave Leo Cohen's office or leave the executive office, then they're going to talk about the real plan. All right, you know what, y'all? They're going to tell you, yeah, we're family. We're going to have a great, Jeffrey, we're family. You know, this is going to be a long relationship. You're going to retire in the Caymans. I'm going to show you how to do this, show you how to do that. Then you leave the office, they're like, I give him about 5 years before he either kills himself or kills somebody else. So let's get the most out of it right now because he's going to crash out. So the crash dummy don't know that. The crash dummy think, oh, we get to be on the ride. We get to be in the car. You don't know that you're about to get crashed out. A lot of our professional athletes, we go into the NFL, we go to the NBA. We made it. But if you don't have the right education, you're going to get crashed out too. 85% of Black professional athletes go broke within 5 years of leaving the league. You helping to sell a product, so you have access to wealth. But do you have the mindset to keep that wealth, to build on that wealth? They love it. Your agents, the white agents, they love that you going out to party. They love that you getting high. They love that. Go do all of that because now you're not paying attention to the business. Now the agent can take a little extra off the top. This accountant over here taking a little extra off the top. You look up, they done robbed you out of millions. You wasn't paying attention. You was too busy with your chain on in the club doing like this. Crash dummy. Now your babies ain't got nothing. Your family ain't got nothing. All the people that was looking out for you, they ain't got nothing because you crashed out. How not to become $1 million crash dummy. When you get doors opened up for you, you got to be prepared to take advantage of it. You can't let these people make you feel like that you accepted, that you part of the family. You better dot your I's, cross your T's, read your contracts. But how you going to read your contract if you can't read? How you going to really count your money if you can't count? When interest starts getting involved, when taxes start getting involved, you just used to count stacks. That ain't counting. That ain't counting. What's your tax rate? What's your wealth plan? You got to trust other people to put you in position because you're not taking time out to get the information needed to take care of your own empire. You're going to crash out. Somebody's going to crash you out. You think any white man with a suit on has to be trustworthy and know more than you, so you put your trust in thieves. Not every thief look like you. Not every thief got on a bandana and sagging their pants. Some thieves wear three-piece. The best thieves wear three-piece suits every day. That's why they're the best thieves. So when you have the opportunity to learn your culture, when you got an opportunity to learn about self, see, culture gives you a kind of pride. When you learn about your culture, you get a kind of pride where you say, you know what, I ain't gonna crash out. I'm not gonna be tricked into hating my own people, not gonna be tricked into killing somebody. I'm not gonna be tricked into throwing my whole life away over one decision. My ego ain't in the way because now I'm proud of myself. So you can't get me with my ego no more. So somebody me crazy, I don't have to respond because I know who I am, right? So when you embrace your culture, your chances of crashing out decrease by 50%. That's just my own estimate. You know what I'm saying? Because now you walking around with a whole different vibe. You get the culture thing now with the education piece. You on top of your math, you on top of your science, you on top of your reading, you on top of what you need to learn. Now you're decreasing your crashing out potential by another 30%. But when you don't have an identity, when you think you're an N-word, you trying to be a real N-word too, not just the N-word. You want to be a real one, right? When you think you're a B, but not just a B, you want to be the baddest B, right? When you're trying to be that, then you got to elevate your ignorance. The more ignorant you are, the realer you'll be. Now you can't say I'm finna go read my contract. Oh man. Now you can't say, nah, man, I ain't gonna ride out here. I thought you was stand up. You ain't no stand up. You ain't no real gangster. See, now you start falling prey to things like that because you have to live up to an image. Now you almost have to crash yourself out because you've established an identity that ain't even in your heart. You don't want to hurt nobody, but you done got into the conversation. Now you gotta hurt somebody or somebody's gonna hurt you. Come on in. Y'all, I got to get to work. Because we ain't raising crash dummies over here. All right? That ain't what we doing. We raising engineers. Our students at the Uhuru Academy going to build the car. They're not going to be the crash dummies in the car. They're going to design the vehicle. They're not going to be the crash dummies in the vehicle. That's not how we work it. And every teacher out there, if you teaching Black students in particular, you got to fight this stuff every day. Don't just be focusing on teaching them how to count, teaching them how to read. You better see what's going on in their head. And you got to fight that crash dummy mentality each and every day, or history is going to continue to repeat itself. Ms. Lamb, I appreciate you. I love to come on your economic empowerment show anytime. Everybody else that's listening on the live, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody have a blacktastic week. You know, this has been the Morning Bill with Bob Amin. Y'all's creative writing time. I gotta go. Peace.